Today's story is about the descent of River Ganges, popularly known as River Ganga in India. In Hindu culture, Ganga is revered as a goddess, and her arrival on earth is known as Gangavatarana. Hindus believe that taking a holy dip in the river washes away sins and helps in attaining moksha, liberation. It is also a tradition to scatter the ashes of departed loved ones in the river, believing it helps them achieve salvation. But have you ever wondered why this celestial river descended to earth? What is the story behind Ganga's divine journey from the heavens to earth? I have thoroughly researched this story to bring you the most authentic version. Let's dive into this fascinating tale. But before we get into the video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Your support motivates me to create more videos like this. The story of Gangavatarana. A long time ago, in the grand kingdom of Ayodhya, there was a mighty king named Sagara. Despite his power, he carried deep sorrow. He had no children to inherit his throne. Seeking a solution, he performed intense prayers, hoping to receive blessings from the divine. Pleased with his devotion, the great sage Brigu appeared before him and granted a blessing. One of his wives, Sumati, would give birth to 60,000 sons. The other wife, Kashini, would bear only one son, but he would be the true heir to the throne. However, the sage foretold a dark fate. All 60,000 sons would meet a tragic end. In time, Sumati gave birth to a gourd fruit. When it was opened, the seeds transformed into embryos, eventually growing into 60,000 sons. Meanwhile, Kashini gave birth to a single son, Asmanja. However, Asmanja turned out to be a wicked and cruel prince, so he was exiled. He later married and had a son named Anshumat, who would prove to be noble and wise. The Ashwamedha Yajna and the curse of Kapila. Years passed, and King Sagara decided to perform the Ashwamedha Yajna, a powerful ritual where a sacred horse is set free to roam. Any kingdom that allowed the horse to pass without resistance would be considered under the rule of the king performing the yajna. However, if anyone stopped the horse, a battle would ensue. King Sagara's 60,000 sons were tasked with accompanying the horse on its journey. Everything was going smoothly until the horse mysteriously disappeared. After searching far and wide, they finally found the horse tied near a meditating sage, Kapila. Without thinking, they accused the sage of theft and tried to attack him. Enraged at their arrogance, Sage Kapila opened his eyes, and in a single glance, he incinerated all 60,000 sons to ashes. Now, the souls of the 60,000 princes remained trapped, unable to attain liberation. The only way to free them was to wash their ashes with the sacred waters of the Ganga. However, Ganga flowed only in the heavens. Thus, bringing Ganga to earth became a sacred mission, a task passed down through generations. Bhagiratha's penance and Shiva's divine intervention. The responsibility of bringing Ganga to earth fell upon King Sagara's grandson, Anshumat. However, despite his devotion, he was unable to accomplish this task. The duty was then passed to his son Dilipa and later to his grandson, Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha dedicated years of his life to intense penance, praying to goddess Ganga to descend to earth. Finally, the celestial river appeared before him and said, "Bhagiratha, I am willing to descend, but my force is too powerful. If I fall directly to earth, my waters will destroy everything. You must find someone who can control my descent." Bhagiratha then turned to Lord Shiva, the great cosmic protector, and pleaded for his help. Pleased with Bhagiratha's devotion, Shiva appeared and said, "Your perseverance is admirable. I will bear the force of Ganga's descent upon my matted locks and release her gently onto earth." The descent of Ganga. As Ganga plunged down from the heavens, she rushed toward the earth with immense power, threatening to destroy everything in her path. However, Shiva calmly caught her in his thick, matted hair, trapping her flow within the labyrinth of his locks. After holding her in place, Shiva released her in delicate streams, allowing her waters to flow gently onto the earth. Guided by Bhagiratha, Ganga flowed toward the ashes of his ancestors, purifying their souls and granting them moksha. Ganga and sage Janu. As Ganga made her way through the earth, she flooded the ashram of sage Janu, who was performing a sacred ritual. Angered by this disruption, Janu swallowed the entire river in one gulp. Realizing the purpose behind Ganga's descent, he later released her from his body from his left thigh. Because of this, Ganga is also known as Jahnavi, meaning daughter of Janu. The legacy of Ganga. With her sacred waters now flowing on earth, Ganga became a symbol of purity and salvation. She came to be known by different names. Bhagirathi, in honor of Bhagiratha's great efforts. Jahnavi, after Saint Jahnu. The river of moksha, for its ability to grant liberation. To this day, millions of Hindus continue to worship Ganga and seek her divine blessings. Cultural significance. In India, there is a festival. On this day, Hindus celebrate the descent of Ganga. It is believed that on this day, taking a dip in the holy river washes away sins and brings spiritual purification. People gather at places like Haridwar, Varanasi, and Prayagraj to offer prayers and seek blessings. The festival is a tribute to Bhagiratha's devotion and Ganga's divine journey to earth. And that, my friends, is the legend of the descent of River Ganga, a tale of devotion, perseverance, and divine intervention. What do you think about this story? Do you believe in the purifying power of the Ganga? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more incredible tales from Indian mythology.